How can I profit from this Bittensor mining thing, man? Yeah, I don't want to miss the AI gold rush. I need to do something about it. So you're obviously watching this video because you want to understand how to profit from Bittensor mining and this early AI gold rush that we're into right now. Currently, I have about 3 full guides on how to mine on Bittensor, so you can go watch those. But I noticed a huge problem. To actually make real money with Bittensor mining, you need to stay competitive because you are competing against other miners who are probably software engineers, machine learning specialists, coders, and things of that nature. So there is obviously a minimum threshold that you need to keep as a miner to not get deregistered and lose the funds that you paid out. So in this video, we are going to see exactly how you can pull the subnet code of any subnet, put it into Cursor, which is very similar to what Ridges is releasing right now, but it's not ready, so we are going to use Cursor for this video. And you are going to see how me as a beginner, I prompt the AI agent on a subnet's code. How do validators score miners? How do I get a good answer as a miner? How to test a miner locally and things of that nature. This is key for you to understand that it even exists. Because if you want to make money, you can't just mine on simple subnets that do not require any technicality. So this is the purpose of this video, for you guys to understand how to take a subnet code and actually use it to your advantage, understand it, implement it, test it, etc. And what is super cool is that at this stage of the video, I do not have the slightest idea as to how to get to that point. So you will see raw examples, raw nuggets and value as to how I get there, how I use chatbots to my advantage. Because one thing is for sure, if you put some willpower and dedication, you can make it, because we are very early. The barrier to entry is pretty low right now, so we need to take full advantage of it. That's the point of this channel, to be early in trends and make life-changing money. So let me show you how I would test my miner locally as a beginner before registering and analyzing the subnet code. All right, so the first thing you're going to write is cursor.com. Okay, click the home page and just download it for Windows or whatever the case is. You're on Mac, it's the same thing. It's going to look something like this. Cursor is simply an application that you're downloading on your computer, which is going to help you while you're trying to understand code, because they have agents directly integrated into the files. So it's much different than just importing files into ChatGPT and asking him. It's faster, it's quicker, and this is how pros do it. Next up, you're going to go to subnetalpha.ai and you are going to pick a subnet that interests you. Okay, for the purpose of this video, we're going to go with subnet 103 and we're going to try to test it locally. And as you can see, if you click here, the little cat icon is going to take you directly into the subnet's code GitHub. All right, you click here and you just copy the link of the GitHub. So once you download Cursor, just click login and do it with your Google Chrome profile. I think that's the easiest and the fastest. Next up, you're going to see a page like this. Just keep it as is, VS Code, English, and you can click install if you want. It's not that important. Here, just select agent layout and dark mode. It's the cleanest, the crispiest, and continue. And then your terminal is supposed to look something like this, and we're gonna head on from there because I've already downloaded it. So once you have opened Cursor, it's supposed to look something like this. I want you to minimize it and right click on your desktop and create a new folder called the subnet's name, HappyAI. Secondly, you're going to go to that subnet's GitHub and copy the link right here. Go on your Cursor app and clone the repo. Control V so you paste the link, and it's as easy as that, guys. Press enter, okay? It's going to tell you where do you want to put it. Go to your desktop, select the folder right here so it's recognizable. Select as repo destination, so click that. Boom, you see it, it's cloning. Would you like to open the clone repo? Open it, sure. And it's supposed to look something like this. On the top left, you have your agent tab, and editor, it's the area where you edit the code. So if you click right here on show files, you already have all the files of that subnet's repo. And the agent is aware of those files, so you can ask the agent any type of question on each of these files. So it's as simple as that, guys. Cursor is an amazing application. You don't even need to know git pull commands and things of that nature. Just use the front end buttons and the AI agent. Guys, we're not here to flex code. We are vibe coders. We code with LLMs. This is the new way in 2026. It's all about speed and raw action. So let's see what we can dig out, because I have no idea how to go forward. So the first thing I would do if I was you, I will literally click on every one of these buttons right here and get familiar with every file. So what is every file for? What is it used for? Why is it relevant for the subnet? Why is it important? Understand the code in each of these files. What does it mean? Why is it important? What is it for the subnet? Who wrote it? Why? Things of that nature. This might take you 2 or 3 days. I kid you not. What are these things here? So right now, what I will probably do is prompt the hell out of this AI agent right here to understand the functionality of each of these codes and see what kind of edge we can get and how we can test our miner without knowing anything. So this is probably going to take a lot of time, so I'll catch you guys later when I find interesting things about these documents and how they could help me, and I'll show you the most interesting snippets of what the agent outputs me. All right, so right off the bat, this is my first ever prompt. So I just ask, okay, so do you see all the code files for HappyAI subnet? I git pulled them, which are right here. And he obviously replied and he proved me that he is seeing the files right here. So this is proof that the agent can actually see the files right here. And he even told me what each section is for. So we are going to start with that and try to find some gold in each of these files as to how this could help me. So here's an example of a cool prompt you can run as a complete beginner. Guys, this is not rocket science. So I am a Bittensor miner. I give the LLM some context. Validators prompt the miners with therapeutic questions and miners must respond in the best way possible. I need to understand how am I scored as a miner. We need some mock questions going through and some mock outputs and some fictional validators scoring outputs. Maybe simulate some answers and questions. Iterations means just something running over and over again in a loop to get the best possible outcome. So you need to give the bot your skill level so it doesn't spit you out too much words that you don't understand. And I would like you to also give me a mini crash course on every project file. What is it for? Why is it useful? The file's purpose. Use analogies to simplify everything. Guys, analogies are your best friend when it comes to understanding stuff, especially if you're not a software engineer. Holy cow, look at him go. To-do list, 5 things to do. Create comprehensive file, create local testing framework. This is insane. Create mock scoring system. I'm super excited to see the final result. Damn. If Ridges is building something like this, I'm a buyer, I'm a subscriber, man. Bittensor to the freaking moon. And here is the actual summary response of the AI agent. What he did for you, what we're trying to do, all the explanations, the important nuggets. And on the right hand side, you have automatic files that are opened by the AI agent and for you to read as well. Where it's green means it has been changed or added by the AI agent. This is just a Python extension it recommended me to add. And it obviously, this is the actual subnets README. And you see the AI agent added a local testing framework for the miner in green right here that we're gonna have to read and see what's up. And testing framework, again, the files. So everything here has been created by an AI agent. This is much more better than just logging into ChatGPT and like importing files. You're gonna have a huge headache. This has been amazing so far. So let's see what we can dig through here. So look what we found here, guys. If you read here, reviewing the code base to understand scoring mechanisms. So this is what the AI agent is doing. And you can click through all of these files right here. It's going to open them right here. You can close them after, it's no problem. And guys, nobody is going to teach you this. Right here on this channel, I expose everything on how to be the best possible miner. So here is a quick secret, no BS nugget as to how HappyAI scores its miners. You clearly see category therapeutic effectiveness from 1 to 10. And it's the therapeutic technique. So if you suit the user's needs, you're going to get 10 points. If you don't, it's 0 points. And this is weighted as 1.5. And if it's deemed transformational, likely to create breakthrough, you're gonna get 10 points as a miner. If you have no breakthrough or creates confusion or just blocks the person, you're gonna get 0. Are you outstanding and personalized, or are you dangerous and unrealistic? So, and you get the point, it goes on and on and on. So me as a beginner, if I see this, these are my scoring criteria right here. The first thing that pops to mind is that I would need to modify the miner Python file and actually have a good large language wrapper that understands these metrics when it comes to answering whatever the validators asks me. So this would be a real example of a miner optimization when you run your miner on the Bittensor network to not get deregistered. I believe this file right here is what the validators use to score the miners. It's actually a large prompt that's attached to the validator code for them to be able to score us. And they have the eval instructions right here. Be consistent, consider therapeutic context, evaluate how well each response fits. We have a miner guide so we can understand how we're scored with simple explanations. We have a local testing file that is going to allow us to practice mining locally on our machine without paying some money to the subnet. It explains everything that we need. We have a local test miner file already ready. We have some mock evaluation questions from the validators with some questions right here. As you can see, anxiety work. All of this is created by the AI agent. Guys, it's 2025, 2026. Stop being lazy. You have all these AI agents that are free teachers, free university teachers for 20 bucks a month. I was in real estate. I don't have the slightest idea what am I doing, but if I put in 2-3 hours a day, I will get the hang of this. I will earn some alpha tokens, and that is the actual goal. So this is pretty cool. How does the scoring system work? You respond. So your AI, your miner needs to be attached to a large language model that gives therapeutic responses. Obviously, not all AIs are built the same because the person behind it needs to optimize it. 2 random criteria out of the 35 long list that I showed you, and you earn ELO points. More ELO equal more tokens. And this is the actual score calculation with the weights and the criterias. Look at the amount of nuggets I'm getting. Important safety criteria. If you fail these, you can get banned as a miner because you're giving out advice that is actually unsafe. And right here, miner Python file. What is it? It's a base class for miner, handles receiving requests. So if you spin up a miner, you obviously have the base miner with the file right here, but are you going to compete? Are you going to be good? Are you going to constantly get deregistered? Probably yes, because people take that file right here and they optimize it to their needs, and then they upload it to the Bittensor network and they work with a better miner. And you clearly see, because of my prompt, the AI agent explained to me every file, what it is, what it does, how it works. So validator Python file, eval Python file, judge queries Python, judge queries JSON file, all these are different files and whatever the case is, and explains exactly what it is, what it does for you to get the whole picture. I've been feeling really anxious about my job. Your miner receives it with this function right here, calls a worker, generates a therapeutic response, probably with an LLM, and returns a response to the validator. And you are evaluated with 6 other miners in a tournament style with an ELO calculation, and then weight setting to get your rewards. Let's explore what specifically about work is triggering these feelings. Have you noticed any patterns in when anxiety peaks? And the agent also found out with the code any tips for me to respond properly. So safety is priority number 1. Maintain context, avoid toxic positivity, stay professional. And here it gave me the next steps as to what to do for me to run the test locally. There's crisis scenarios to ensure safety. When consistently scoring 7 on 10 with 0 safety warnings, you're ready to actually plug in a miner. So it actually gives you some realistic context as to how good your responses need to be before registering as a real miner. So pretty interesting. Miner validator could be hosted on a simple CPU, 20 gigabyte storage, 8 GB RAM, 2 CPU cores. And right now, according to this README guide, if I start the quick start file right here, I would get mock validator questions in real scoring, test various scenarios, see how I'm scored, ensure proper crisis handling so I don't get banned, and just improve over time. So I'll catch you guys later when I figure out how to start my miner on my own computer to see what kind of questions we would get. All right, so I just took into account all the different files right here on the top section, but I still had some questions, and I want you guys to understand the types of prompts I asked the AI agent that gives me the results I need. So there's a lot of things I currently don't understand. So I told him, so I just read these files right here. I want to understand more in detail how to actually run the miner, where to actually create and run the miner, what makes a miner better than another? Give me a real example of what someone would do to actually optimize his miner and for it to respond better. Give me another cheat sheet of what every file does. Give me a scenario in which I would optimize my answers. Make me understand all these questions in plain English using analogies. Don't use difficult software engineering words. So you guys clearly see that I'm not a rocket scientist and I'm just going step by step in simple format. So this is pretty interesting, a live example as to what an optimization would look like. So assuming you would get 4 on 10 on the therapeutic technique section, you would open this file right here behind your computer, obviously, and you would find this section system prompt, and you would see that the prompt is you're a therapist, help users. And as a human, you would change, the prompt. You're a therapist, help users using these techniques: validation, reflection, exploration, and techniques. So this is something cool that we could change for our miner to actually output better responses. And in this file right here, worker app, you have base worker code, which is the main file where we would have to optimize it. Local testing, step-by-step guide, create an environment file and call it right here. So what you have to do is open your file section. Mine is on the desktop, HappyAI, you click it, and there's already a env template because it was in the subnets GitHub code. If you open it, you are going to see that it's already pre-written, so we're going to leave it at that. And we're just going to rename it .env only because this is what it tells us to do to test it locally. All right, so let's do step number 2, open PowerShell in your project folder. So go to your project folder and quick little nugget, you can right click it and open it in terminal directly without typing cd commands. So now I am in that folder right now, and let's just run the commands that it tells me to run. Okay, so let's start with this one. It's the first one, enter. So it's installing the GitHub requirements that are in the file. And also in my terminal, when I ran this command right here, it gave me some errors. So let's see what this is about. Let's copy that. Control-Shift-C. Step 2 didn't work. Tell me why and what can we do about it. Here's my terminal output. So the first command is to install UV. Let's see how that goes. So pip install UV. Then we're going to run this command right here that is going to read this file right here and install everything we need for our miner. So UV sync. And we're going to change directories workers. So cd worker. This is the file that calls the LLM to generate the miner response questions. So boom, now we're in worker and we need to start it. And we're gonna have to run this command right here to start it. So let's see how that goes. So I see a couple failed indications and we'll see if this is actually started. Maybe it started, who knows? All right, so some more nuggets. This subnet relies on Bittensor commit reveal, which requires Rust, and my actual computer doesn't have Rust. It's going to download a file like this on your computer. Paste the output so you know what you're doing, and it's going to guide you until you install Rust successfully. So, and my AI agent said double click it, press 1. So I guess 1. So we're just going to install this, boom. So we have a Rust version, that's perfect. UV sync into the project file. If you want to earn alpha tokens, obviously you have to do scary things. You have to do things that you don't completely understand or you don't have all the answers to, because how else are you going to be competitive? So I figured I need a virtual environment with Python 3.12. And the subnets code was just breaking on 3.13. So I'll catch you guys later when this is the requirements with which we're downloading on our computer to be able to actually start the miner. Interesting, time to start the worker in my virtual environment in the worker folders. Perfect, and our worker that is going to generate the responses with LLM logic is running. We're getting close. And run this command so you can execute scripts. Activate your virtual environment once again. Okay, so now it's telling me to run pip install requests, and we're actually going to run the test worker. All right, interesting. So apparently if we run this command right here, the script will send sample questions to the worker, wait for responses, evaluate them, and show you scores all in my terminal. So let's freaking see. So I changed my folder into the HappyAI, run the script, no module name Bittensor. All right, so some more live debugging nuggets. I don't even know what I'm doing. Let's just try it and just add it right here. So we're gonna select that and we're gonna select this right here, Control V. We just changed it and Control S. Let's try again, folks. All right, so the questions are popping up, but I see some errors, so there's more stuff to do. As you can see, no tests completed successfully, so we're gonna get to the bottom of this. So boom, open it right here, Control V, and Shoots API key. We're obviously going to make the API calls with Shoots because I'm already connected to Shoots. I don't have an open API subscription. This model right here, Kimi K2 Thinking, that's why you see right here Shoots API key. And obviously my API key is here. I'm not going to show it. I'm going to paste it right here. We're then going to restart our worker and our miner and see how it goes. So Control C. So I think the worker shut down. So venv worker, boom, restart it. So the worker is now restarted. And now let's see if we rerun the test. As you can see on step number 3, we're in the right directory in the venv. So let's see what it does. Okay, there still seems to be some errors, so let's figure that out. So I've updated all my files to point to Shoots' Kimi K2 so it works and not OpenAI. So let's see what it does when we rerun the tester. All right, I'm having some huge API endpoint issues. So let's try to change this line right here to this right here. Control S and just restart everything. Hopefully it's going to work. Hopefully we get a test running through. All right, guys, so I have been debugging for the last 6 hours. This has been a crazy run, but in one sentence, this subnet code is designed to run with OpenAI, and I don't have a subscription with OpenAI. I'm with Kimi K2. I use Shoots, so I want to support them, and I modified the whole code base for it to work with the Kimi K2 model. So let's try to do it right now. Let's restart the worker and let's run it with one question to see how it goes. So here's the question right here. Let's just pray we get something interesting, guys. It's been 8 hours. Oh my God, I almost cried. So as you can see, test completed one-on-one. We scored 4.58 out of 10. We got 16 fake ELO points, and I want it to work with this model. So there was a lot of debugging to do, but we freaking did it. Our response is right here. Sending to worker, we've been evaluated by the validators. Our score is right here. Let's see if we can get this up with some file modification or something, I don't know. But this has been a huge breakthrough. At the moment, the subnet is actually improving its incentive mechanism, and I think the miner burn is at 100%, so there's no people earning alpha tokens on that subnet. But if ever they relaunch their product and their therapist, I will be ahead of the game, making sure I am competitive. So I told him, seems to be working. Can you explain me both outputs in plain English so I understand what's going on and the next steps to improve the score? Let's see. All right, so let's see. My goal is to tweak so my question has a much better score than 4.58 or 4.75 out of 10. What file can I tweak and modify? Let's see how it guides me. All right, so this is the file in which determines how our therapist, aka our miner, responds. And I'm doing a YOLO prompt just to see if it would work. I want to run a continuous loop of the first question 5 times, as you can see here, 5 times. So I'm asking the AI agent to actually run an iteration or just a loop of the first question, but to modify this right here, this section on each run to see if by the 5th run my score would be better. So let's see what it gives us. All right, so interesting. It gave me 4 variants: warm validation, safety plus crisis reminder, CBT technique, I don't even know what that is, focus and clarity, and final polish. So all of these are prompts that I need to copy right here and probably add them somewhere here, delete some sentences and add some new ones to see how it responds afterwards. So it's pretty much a trial and error. And actually, I just told him, so for variant 1, tell me exactly what to change, where to delete it, and actually do it for me, hopefully to get more than 4.5 as a result. Interesting. So for me, it updated this file right here. And as you can see, if you scroll down to the green section right here, this is the area where it added a code block or just some sentences under this class type or definition or whatever it is. So we've added this and we're now ready to run the new command to see if we get more than 4.5. So right here, this is our worker file. So we can just copy this command right here. It's the start command that is going to evaluate the first question right here from the JSON file. And hopefully when we press enter, we're going to get more than 4.5. So now it's loading. It's doing the inference with Kimi K2. So boom, we just went from 4.5 to 4.9. It's a pretty big bump. So guys, this was an actual insane run. It's the first time in my mining journey that I've actually optimized a miner under the hood. I know it doesn't sound like much, but this was super satisfying. So imagine what I could do in maybe a week or two. If I get to 8 on 10 or 9 on 10, the results would be much better. But yeah, guys, ultimately, if you go to this tab right here, miner weights, you're supposed to see a lot of different miner blocks and a minimum line threshold. Right now, you don't see it because the mining is paused, but this is ultimately what we want. Once you get good answers here, your miner is going to have always a good score on the metagraph, and you're going to have a high incentive, you're going to have high emissions, and you're not going to be the last miner. So this is why we did all of this. It took me the whole day, but understanding what happens under the hood in subnets is extremely important. And I've just showed you that nobody on YouTube is doing this. Nobody is as passionate as me about Bittensor mining. So a lot went into this. Subscribe if you're interested in these kinds of videos. Drop a comment down below if you liked it, if it's something you want to see more of, if you have a question, if you want me to cover something specific. But this has been a blast. I'm super proud of myself. I'm actually starting to get somewhat technical, and I feel that I have a chance at least at mining at these low tiered subnets. So with that being said, my coding muscle is completely gassed. I need some rest. I'll leave you guys with this one. It doesn't matter if you don't understand everything. Eventually it will all click. You just need some raw focusing power. You need to close your application, close your TikTok, close whatever is distracting you, and put your head down. Use large language models. They are there to help you for 20 bucks a month. It's the best time of the decade to learn AI, and you literally have no excuses. As you see, I'm in real estate. I have no idea what coding is. I'm not technical, but I still do it. So guys, with that being said, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.